This is Country Living, E. Oregon Style 61. Today I'm going to show you how I'm going to take my dried garlic that I have dried and make it into my powder. Some people only make it into one type of powder and they leave their granules in there also. I break it down into a powder and a flake. Here's my flakes after I break it down, and here is my powder of the first go around. I do it twice to where it comes out looking. This is my powder, and this is my fine granules or flakes, whichever you want to call it. So I'm going to show you how I do it. I also use this little thing to separate it down. It's got a little screen at the bottom. I set it over the top and I shake it, and that's how I separate it down. When I do onions, I do the same thing. I make a granule and I also make a powder. So I'm going to take some that I've already got that's been ground once and put it into my grinder. I just use a little electric coffee grinder. Nothing fancy. You can buy them real cheap at like Walmart or any of that place, any of those little off-the-wall places. It's going to be a little bit noisy, not bad. Since it's already been ground the first time, it doesn't take as long. It's not quite as noisy. And that's what it looks like when it's ground the second time. So the second time I need to take my spoon and my little sieve. I take my powder and I pour it into my little sieve. I give it a few shakes. The powder will come out of it, and what is left is your granules or your flakes, and then I put it in a complete different container. Now what I'll do is I'll show you how it sounds and it's really noisy, but when I take these, when we first peel them, then I slice them up in a little slicer. You can also do it by hand. The thinner the slices, the faster it will dry. Takes a little longer when it goes the first time. And that's how it looks. Oops, I got a little on my hand. The first time. There again, I take it on the first grinding, and I find the container that I have on the first powder, put it in here. The powder I don't do twice. Just the granules I grind twice, because once it's a powder, it's not going to get any smaller. You see how much bigger the granules are there? That's some that didn't grind up. That's why I grind it the second time. And then I do that. Okay, then I take that, the first grinding of the granules, and I run it back through my grinder again. And this is where I get the powder again. And then this is where I get the smaller granules. And then I store both. I do not store them together. Some people do, and they only run it through the first time. Which is okay, but I like mine down to where I can use it different ways. I use my granules for roasts and for soups, that type of stuff. My powders I use for if you're wanting to put garlic powder in some kind of like a ranch dressing or anything like that you want to make that's a powder that you're making your own ranch dressing, or if you want to put it on a steak or something that you're going to put out on the barbecuer, that's what I use my powders for. You have a nice day. Thank you very much for watching.